Hello and welcome back to my Pokemon Horizons review series. Today we are reviewing episode 59 and I hope you enjoy. So we are back from the week off and dive straight into the action here as the trio arrive in Medali, so Dot can take part in her second gym leader test, facing down gym leader and Elite Four member Larry, but this time in a 2-on-2. But Larry doesn't seem to be at the gym, so it's time to find the workaholic. This episode was really focusing on Dot, and we see this when we meet a street performer dancing with her Ori choreo, and naturally Quaxly wants to join in on the fun, impressing everyone with its style and using its moves while dancing, maybe hinting at something a bit later on. But I gotta say, Quaxly and Dot have to be some of the most well written characters and partnerships we've ever had. To think how far they've come, and I love how Horizons has really dived into the dancing traits. I think it's made people appreciate the Quaxly line a bit more since it probably was the least popular of the three starter lines. The trio hear about Larry at a nearby restaurant, and it's cool that it is the rival restaurant of the Anything Eatery that we were at last episode, just expanding the world a bit more. And surprise surprise, our favourite gym leader is sat in his favourite seat at the end of the table, and he knows it's time to go to work. I love how his mannerisms and dialogue are just taken scene for scene from the games. They got Larry's character spot on here, and it was so cool seeing the restaurant turn into a battlefield. And it's time for the battle to begin, a 2-on-2. Dot seems to have some strategy planned out, but she was always going to be up against it here, going up against an Elite Four member basically, and using her Tinkertink who has never battled before, while Larry is using his famous Dunsparce along with a Staraptor. Some cool battles. Dot falls into an early trap by getting caught by Dunsparce's glare, and then Quaxly has to suffer the effects of paralysis for the remainder of the battle, so she was up against it from the start. She does bring in Tinkertink and it doesn't do terribly. It manages to force a switch out into Staraptor, but honestly it goes down in like one attack after that, so we do need a bit more training with Tinkertink next for Dot, so that it can at least hold its own. But this episode was all about Quaxly. She brings the duck back out and says it's time to implement this strategy. Quaxly tries to copy the movement from both the birds that is encountered today, including the Ori choreo from earlier. It tries to move around as if it's dancing just like it did earlier, implementing its moves, and it seems to work for Dot, giving it a fluid motion and unpredictable movement so that it can catch Staraptor off guard. And it manages to land a few hits using Liquidation and Low Kick. It manages to knock down Staraptor and, for the first time, give Dot a bit of power in this battle. And then it happens. Quaxly stands tall, proud of its achievements, and this bright light begins and it evolves into Quaxwell. What a fantastic evolution moment. It really felt like a sense of accomplishment. Like Quaxly was fighting its hardest here and it was rewarded with this evolution. It was different to the usual evolve mid-battle to help your trainer win the battle, but it was more of a self-development for Quaxly just to show how far it's come. And then Dot isn't playing around. She uses this moment to whip out the Terastal and transform her newly evolved Quaxwell. But Larry has had enough of this shift and he pulls out the stretch of the legs, his trademark move, and he returns this with his own Terastal. And one last facade, the most Larry move possible, finishing off Quaxwell and winning Larry the battle. This was a fantastic battle. It really had everything. It had smart strategies from Dot, an overbearing power from Larry. It had great character moments for both trainers, and to top things off we got an evolution, and it wasn't pulling a rabbit out of the hat making Dot win this one. Despite the evolution, she still lost and didn't even take down one of Larry's Pokemon, which I respect even more because it makes sense for where both trainers are at. But we at least saw her push him and grow more from this battle. Just an all-round amazing battle, and dare I say one of the best in Horizons, and one that felt the most old school. It felt like I was watching an Ash Ketchum gym battle. We get a thorough assessment from Larry, being the no-nonsense man he is, and he passes Dot on this test, and I expected nothing less. Dot showed incredible growth and character in this battle, and she definitely deserved to pass this test. The episode ends with everyone having a nice meal and our boy Larry getting stuck with the bill. Poor guy. Overall, this episode was really great. Dot episodes just seem to shine in so many ways. They really bring the best out of her and her Pokemon. She has grown so much, and it's safe to say she is one of the best characters in Horizons in my opinion. Even seeing her just casually talking to that street performer, you see how far she has come since the start of the series, We've never really had this level of character development in a Pokemon anime. It's usually pretty simple, but we got a great battle this week and an evolution moment to top things off. So overall, I'm going to give this episode a 9 out of 10. Let me know what you thought of this episode. What is your rating out of 10? Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.